Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're all doing well. So I spent the weekend at my sewing machine, basically. It probably should not have taken me the length of time it took me, but I am really bad with sewing. Although, to be fair, with these ruffles, I definitely did get into the swing of it after I'd done a few. So just to show you, this is what it looks like. With all the ruffles in it, so it's massive. So you can see that basically if I was to do this as one journal, which I did originally intend to do, it would just be far too chunky, I think, and this is like really heavy, to be honest, already. So yeah, I don't really think it's feasible to do this as one journal. So what I am going to do is make 5 journals, because I've got 5 signatures, so I've added a few extra bits in, which I'll show you. So I'm going to use Amazon packaging, basically, to try and make some book covers. So I have looked online to see if I could find some tutorials and things, and there were some really cool tutorials, but a lot of them had to do with like Mod Podging, book page over it, and all that kind of stuff, and I literally just want to put fabric on mine. So I'll just show you the fabric. So this is some really cute fabric. This is literally the Pastel Goth aesthetic, and I got this from AliExpress ages and ages ago. This was when, like I say, because I had all of this stuff ready to go, ready to kind of make a journal, and then I just never did it. So it's one of those unfinished projects that I'm coming back to. So this is what I want to do, and this is, I want to basically make the cover fabric. But I have never done this before, so the only covers that I've really made are from chipboard, because I like a really strong cover, but obviously because I'm just doing one signature, even though it would be a reasonably chunky signature, because this is just the bare bones, this isn't like anything other than the actual pages, so there's going to be like a lot more stuff going into it, so it is going to chunk it out quite a bit. But I just think I don't know whether it really needs strengthening more. I'm not really sure. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try some, well, I mean, I've got 5 to make, so I'm going to try one, see how that goes, and then if I don't like how that works, I mean, I've got plenty of these boxes, so if I don't like that, then I will look at doing it a different way. What I was thinking was, when I've got these packages, so I want to do, basically, whenever I've got these, I just want to do a flap over, so I want to do a journal that's like that, but why would I do that with all this beautiful lace? It's not going to be visible, so I need just a basic cover. But then I'm always so like, I'm like traumatized to pull these off, because I'm just thinking, but I want to make flaps and stuff, but then I'm like, how would I do this without making it like super chunky? So I don't really know. And then also to try and get the fabric on with that, I feel like the only way I could kind of do it is to take this off, put the fabric cover on, and then put this back on. But then realistically what I could probably do is, what I like doing is an acetate cover, like pocket on the front cover, because then you get like the beautiful design, but then you also can see what's in the pocket as well. And that's kind of like what I really like doing. I did that for my sepia gothic junk journal that I did a while ago that sold, and I really liked how that looked, because it was just good to see the actual image. So I'm like very undecided on this so far, so I don't think I'm gonna look at the covers today. What I am gonna do though is this really cool closure. So I never know how to close my journals, and last night I was watching YouTube for a bit of inspiration, and I don't know if you will have seen my book charm tutorial part 2, where I'm doing the wire wrapping, and I said that I had this wire, but it's so flimsy that it's like impossible to really make that particular charm with, and I wanted to make something else. And one of the lovely people that commented on the video said that I could maybe double the wire up, and I was thinking that, but then I was watching a video last night, and I think it's G Kerr from Happiness and Crafting, and basically what she did was made a buckle, and then once she'd got the buckle made, she would sew the fabric to one side of it and then use that as like a closure for the journal. So I think I'm gonna have a go at making one of those, because if I like them, then I feel like I've got quite a lot of wire here, so I'm gonna try that. So she used a Distress Oxide, I don't know why I'm shaking that, as like the template for it. So she only wrapped her wire around a couple of times, but like I say, my wire is really flimsy, so I think she did, oh god, I think she did 4, so I'm gonna do maybe 8 or 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this was the base, and then so she cut hers off, but I'm thinking because this is on a stick and not a loop like hers was, I could literally just do this way. So I'm just gonna wrap this wire around. Just get rid of that. Okay, so she basically just wrapped this round a bunch of times. If I'm doing it like this, I need to be really careful because the wire knotted when she was doing it, which I don't think is like a major problem because she fixed it really easily. But she says that she's like a jewellery maker, so like I certainly am not. Well, not a jewellery maker, but I think she did like crafts fairs, she said in her video, or used to. So she's obviously a lot more talented than I am with wire. So I think I'm already not in it, but I'm just going to try and make this a little bit less. Okay, so that's a fairly sturdy ring, and then what she did was made a buckle bit. So I'm just gonna stick that through and then wrap it at the top and stick it through again. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. I am going to link her video below because she definitely explains how to do this a lot better than I'm probably showing you right now, because this is the first time I'm ever doing it. So I'll just wrap some of this a bit. Okay, so I think I'm just going to keep wrapping this. So each time I do a wrap at the top, I'm putting the wire through so that it kind of loops over the top as well. Okay, so that's making a fairly sturdy one. See, that's like a little knot, and that's what happened with her wire. She did use pliers for hers, but like I say, this is really flimsy, so I feel like I can manipulate this fairly easily. Okay, so I think I'll do a couple more wraps and then I will just kind of start wrapping around the center Oh, I've not kept that tight at all. So I'm just gonna try and pull that a little bit tighter. Because then what she does after is, once she's made this base, she then gets more wire and wraps beads around it, which I haven't forward planned because I think originally I was going to do the book covers in this one, but I'll be honest, I've never done a process video before and I am nervous. So I've chickened out and I've not done the covers yet, but I will do them as a process video. Just need to be braver because it's not going to be live per se, but I think I'm going to cut some of this because this is getting like super knotted. It's not going to be live, but it's just going to be like, I'm going to try and do it as uncut as possible. I generally don't edit my videos anyway, because I really don't enjoy that part of things. Like, I think recently, since like I've kind of started really taking my channel a lot more seriously and wanting to be like a proper sort of YouTube crafter, I've just thought, well, if I edit my videos, it literally takes so long for me to sit there and like do it. I mean, it will probably get quicker the more I get used to it, but it's just really boring for me and really time consuming, whereas literally I'm filming this video and then I'm going to just upload it straight to YouTube, and then that's going to be done then. I don't need to really think much more about it. Like, I would probably do a little bit of something on Instagram just to promote it, but it's not like massively time consuming, and I really like that. So I hope that you guys don't mind that I'm not like editing my videos and things, because I used to have like this really cute little jellyfish like starter on my videos, but even just adding that takes ages. I'm not the most tech savvy, to be honest, and I mean, I know how to use a computer and stuff. I use it every day, and I use my iPad for making the digital kits and stuff, but YouTube videos and things, it just takes a little while. But anyway, just waffling on there. So I'm getting to the top of wrapping this around here. I'm really liking how this looks. I feel like it looks a little bit like barbed wire, which I love. And the fact that it's purple, I kind of wish I had like black wire, to be honest, because what I'm planning to use for the closure fabric is this. So I've got some like oh god, what's the name of that? You probably know it. It's like see-through fabric. There is a name, I can't remember what it is right now. But this like sort of silky rainbowy coloured ribbon. So that's what I was wanting to use for the closure. And I think even though this is not black, it's like a dark purple, I feel like that'll still go just fine. So I'm just getting to the top here. But okay, so I was thinking about some things that I could tell you about, and there was something that I saw not yesterday, it was a couple of days ago. So me and my husband sometimes sit and watch YouTube in the evening, so we'll watch like fail compilations or like things that show you like how it's made, you know, like how random things get made in factories and stuff like that. Just find stuff like that fairly interesting. So we were on YouTube and this video came up, and it was about a Foley artist, and I've literally never heard of that in my life. And it was this lady, and she was talking about her job and explaining how she does it. And basically, is it Foley? I think it's Foley, but it's pronounced, I think it's spelt like Foley, but it's pronounced Folly. So she was basically talking about her job, and it's a sound artist. So she kind of makes sound effects and things for films and stuff like that. So one of the sound effects that she was given like a bit of a task, and it was a scene where it was just literally a woman. You don't see her head, it's just like her arm, and she's got like a leather jacket on. The way that she's walking, you can kind of tell that she's got heels on, and she's got a baguette, like 2 baguettes in a paper bag in her arm and a handbag on the other one, and she's just walking down the street. So what this artist does is she tries to make it go from like a rom-com type scene to a thriller type scene. So she did like the sound of her heels, she did the sound of the baguettes potentially rustling a little bit in the bag, the sound of keys in a handbag, and then like the sound of the leather jacket as the woman's walking and stuff. And it was just really cool, and she did it like completely differently for the rom-com versus the thriller. So like for the rom-com, for the heels, she did just normal heels on a normal floor, and then for the thriller type one, she put a bit of sand underneath, and then not stamped, but like walked on that, and that literally made such a difference to make it seem like it was a bit more something's kind of happening, or maybe this woman's like walking quickly away from someone or something like that, and it just gave a bit more of like an eerie sort of sound, which was really cool. And then I was just like, oh my god, I literally want to be a Foley artist. Like, that would be so much fun. I would love to do something like that. So then I did have a quick look online just to see if there are any jobs in the area, and unfortunately they're not. The closest one to me is probably Nottingham, but there was one in London that was like completely remote, like a full-time complete like work from home contract, and I was like, I could totally do that, but I'm only messing about really, you know. I'm quite happy in my current job. So I am a trainer in my current job, so I deliver training to people in my organisation on loads and loads of various different things, and that's, sorry, I'm so distracted by this right now. So that's what that looks like. So I've got less on this side because I went round that one with the excess. So I think what I might do is do the beads on this side, because I think it would look better. Because I think when I'm doing extra wraps with the beads, it's going to be fairly, I don't know, chunky. I mean, one side gets fabric sewn over it, so you can't really see it anyway, but I also don't want to like leave that kind of loose. So yeah, I think I'm going to do the beads as a wrap on that side. Just going to get some beads and I'll be back in a second. I'm back. Okay, so I found some beads. This was just like a random thing that I got in like a bundle from Facebook Marketplace. So I was thinking, oh, the lids come straight off. So I was thinking, because I want like the contrast of the light stuff, so I've got those because they match the purple, though that's probably a bit too dark. And then there's some tiny little blue ones there. I think that should go over the wire. I've got some gold ones, but then I don't know what hardware I'll be using, so I don't really want to use gold. So I've got those, and then I've got like a few different beads here as well. Oh, also I was going to show you, so the Easter journal that I made is now all packaged up and it's ready to go, so that is available in my Etsy shop, and inside I've included a bunch of extra like cut-offs and things like that from what I was using to make the journal. So there's extra bits of paper in there, all the extra ephemera that I didn't use, and I've also included one of those those book page dangle charms and a mini book as well, just as like a little freebie in there. So that's now available on my Etsy shop, and I can put a link to that in the description below. I'll try and remember to do that. So yeah, right, so I'm gonna crack on with adding this. So I think I'm probably gonna give myself a good chunk of wire there and cut that off. So I'm not really measuring this because the way that she said it was you can literally just kind of do some and then just add some more on and stuff like that. So I think she threaded it through any kind of gap. So there's like a little gap there. So I'm just going to thread that through and I'm just going to wrap that around. Obviously, if you are doing this, I don't know if you're following this as a tutorial, I hope that this is good for you, considering I've just said I'm a trainer, but I don't train stuff that I have a hobby in. I train stuff that like I just kind of get given a script and then I learn that and kind of do it, but so it's kind of completely different. So yeah, so let me see. So I've got some skull beads, and I figured because they're white, that would probably work really well. So I'm gonna get a few of those, and I have got a few tiny little baby blue beads. I feel like they might go a little bit better with the pink ones, but we'll see. Okay, so I've now got that wrapped around. The only problem is because this is wrapped around such a short space, it's quite wiggly, so hopefully it's going to go okay. But I'm going to start off with a pink bead because I feel like that's a thinner one and it'll probably just be easier to make a start with. Okay, so G just basically held it there and then wrapped the wire through nice and tight. There you go. So when she did hers, she kind of like did one set of beads and then went back through and did another set of beads to add more on. So I might try that actually, instead of what I was gonna do was do like all the beads that I was gonna add on, but I think I might just do this way. Follow the master, do you know what I mean? Why make additions at this point if you don't know what you're doing? Because literally this is the first time that I've ever done this. So so I'm just holding the bead in place and then trying to wrap that around tightly. I think generally try not to manhandle this. Sorry if that's loud, I keep hitting the phone with the wire. So I think generally don't manhandle this, try and do this gently, but I think I'm being maybe a little bit too manhandly with it, possibly, because she definitely was not taking very long to add these on, and I feel like this is taking me a while. Okay, so these are coming on okay, to be fair. Also, for those of you that don't know, my name is Ellen. I am a millennial, so I'm going to be 35 this year. And what else could I tell you? What do you want to know, I guess? Like, I suppose if you want to know anything about me, you could always pop it in the comments. I'm married. I've been married for like 7 or 8 years or something. Time just literally flies. Like, honestly, with my husband, it's so much fun. Our relationship, it's just, I love it. Just literally so happy all the time, and it's just love it. No kids, no plans for kids either. I am just not interested, and neither is he. And to be honest, I think that's definitely the best way for us specifically. I feel like a lot of people don't really understand that, and they think that, oh, maybe they can't have kids or something like that, but I literally don't like children. I'm just not a fan. I have got a nephew and I've got a niece actually, but I am the world's worst auntie, honestly. I'm so bad. I literally barely ever see them, and when I do, I just, like, I've only seen my niece once, because she was only born in October, but yeah, I'm terrible, so terrible with it. I just don't get on with kids, like, I just don't. Like, my nephew's a lovely kid, he's really nice, but yeah, I just don't get on with him. Though, saying that, my best friend Kelly has a kid, and he is a little boy, and he is so lovely, like as lovely as my nephew, but he likes me a lot. Like, I think that he gets quite excited to see me and stuff, which is so cute. And then, like, we have like a cute little hand gesture that we do. And I feel like that's how he kind of recognises me, because he's really little, he's very, very young. So I feel like that's kind of like how he recognises me, with that hand gesture. But yeah, other than that, in general, not really interested in children. Having children, they're just not for me, not for my husband. We do desperately want a dog, but I think, I don't know, I just find that, like, they're really restrictive, because, like, you know, we're kind of free to do whatever we want, whenever we want. We don't need to, like, worry about kids and school holidays and stuff like that. We can just kind of book time off work, and then just go off and do what we want to do. Just to let you know, I think what G did was she wrapped this back around with the beads, but I haven't really got that much, so I'm just going to wrap this around this side again, which is going to be covered up by the fabric anyway, but for the edges it's just going to be kind of, you know. But yeah, would absolutely love a dog, but I just feel like, as much as I love dogs, like, honestly, I can spend ages, like hours on Instagram just looking at these beautiful, beautiful little dog videos, and just, yeah, I just absolutely love them, but I just think that it wouldn't be fair to have a dog. Like, I'm not saying, like, we're a big travelling couple, you know, we don't really go away that much, but I feel like if that option was taken away because we had to figure out where the dog could go and put them in a kennel, and then they're upset and stuff like that, I just, yeah, don't really... just probably aren't going to have a dog at any point. Though, to be fair, if I do somehow manage to get my dream home, which is a farm, and then we can have horses and stuff, then I would definitely get some dogs as well. But I don't think that's going to happen, so I'm just on a pretty minimum wage job, so is my husband, so I mean it's probably not minimum wage, it's probably a little bit more, but it's like, it's not enough to kind of do anything particularly extravagant, so it's just a comfortable kind of living. I feel like I've just thrown a bead somewhere, but yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna do some more. So this is what this looks like so far. So this is cool, I really like this. I can definitely see myself making some heavily gothic ones, and I got this wire from Hobbycraft if anyone's interested, because I feel like this is a lot more pliable. So what G was using, I think she was using galvanized wire for the bead bit, and then some like garden wire from the garden centre for the main skeleton of it. I'm literally using just the same one throughout. This was a couple of quid, I think, from Hobbycraft, and they have tons of colours, and I think I'm probably going to go, because I've got a birthday coming up soon, I'll get a £5 voucher for Hobbycraft, So I'll go and get a couple more colours, I think, for like future journals and stuff, because I'm loving this. Right, okay, so I'm gonna go back in, so just literally anywhere you can see like a bit of a hole, I'm just gonna go back in there and then just wrap this around a little bit. Obviously if you're using other wire you probably need to use pliers a lot more than I'm using, because it doesn't hurt to like push it in and stuff, whereas like jewellery wire and stuff like that probably, sorry I'm completely off camera, all I'm doing is just squeezing that end piece that I've just added on into the thing. God, it's really hard to stay on camera whilst you're trying to do something really intricate. Right, okay, so I think what I'm going to add in now are the skull beads. So I only want like one every few, so I'm thinking like maybe, I don't know, like maybe on the side here, so maybe 3, like one there-ish, one there-ish, and one there-ish. I don't know, this might be a disaster, might have to take this off, but I'm just going to wrap it around here once just to try and move it along to where I kind of want it. So I'm just wrapping it so that it's through that bead, and then that's about the place I want the skull. So to put that on upside down to make it the right way, I think. Yeah. Okay, so I'm adding that on, and then I'm gonna just, so I'm trying to think how best to do this really. I feel like maybe with its face facing that way, and then just get it wrapped through between the bead there, and then I might do a second one just because that's a hefty bead. Okay, so that's ended up quite a bit lower than I thought, so I think I'm just going to do the 2. So I'm going to wrap this about there, so if I wrap it between that bead and then, so I was thinking maybe I could do one on each side, but then I suppose it's going to be flat to the journal, isn't it? So it's not really going to look that good that way, and it'll be a bit too lumpy, I think. So I'm going to just put the second skull bead on. Should that be like chin to chin? Or just like that? I don't know. I put it on, so let's go like that. So I'm just going to thread that between one of the next beads, pull that up, and then I'll wrap that through the following bead, and then just around the end there. Okay, so I think I've got plenty to go back through with some smaller beads, so I'm just gonna go back through this way first, and then, so I'm just giving myself a little knot. It's not going to be ideal for when I've got the little beads going on, so I'm just going to see if I can flatten that. Also, something that G did was use this bit to cut the wire, and I was like, when I was watching it, I was like, oh, you've got the wrong pliers in your hand, and then she just like cut it here, and I was like, oh, is that what that's for? It's like having such a revelation watching. It was so funny. But yeah, that's my level of knowledge with pliers and things. I literally barely ever use wire or anything like that for things. Okay, so let me see. So if I add that on, so I think I need to have it on that side so that it kind of sits there. and I might alternate between the light blue and these little ones if I can. They are so small. Oh, it goes through though. Okay. So that's insanely tiny. Is that even worth putting on? I feel like actually that might be worth just putting on, like with this one. So yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think of that. If that's a mess or if that looks okay, we'll see. But yeah, so I was going to tell you as well actually about Red Rose. So I didn't think I'd ever see that again. So it's a TV series on Netflix called Red Rose. And I really like stuff that's kind of cyber attacky. That's kind of like, you know, where like something hacks your phone and it's like an app or something like that. And there's a few films like that, like Smile. Is it Smile? No, Truth or Dare's like that. And there's one called Countdown, which I think literally counts down the days till your death. I feel like there is no hole in this bead. Let's try a different one. So yeah, so Red Rose is a TV series, and so the writers, I think they had a hand in, you know, like The Haunting of Hill House and Bly Manor and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, really excited to watch that because I really liked those films. So watching it is actually really good. So it's basically set in Bolton in England, and because I'm fairly northern as well, like not super northern, but like enough for that accent to sound a bit cringy to me to hear it. So it's taken like a little bit of getting used to kind of listen to that accent. But no offense to the accent or anything, but you know, when you just kind of, you know it because your accent's fairly similar, and then when you hear it on TV it just gets a little bit cringy. It like, yeah, it's just a little bit like that really. It's just like a familiar kind of thing. But yeah, it's actually a really, really good show. So basically there's an app called Red Rose, and it hacks your phone. Like, you get a notification to download it, and I think if you accept it, that's what causes it to start hacking everything, and it's able to like see everything, and it's able to post things on your social media as if it's you, and stuff like that. And it all kind of starts getting a little bit crazy, and it's for these like teenage girls, well, not all girls, like it's a group of guys and girls, and they are they've just like done their GCSEs and finished high school and stuff, and one of them starts with downloading it, and it's actually, yeah, it's just really, really good. Like, I think it took me a couple of episodes to kind of properly get into it, but now I'm definitely enjoying it a lot more. I think we've got like 2 episodes left to watch. So yeah, so looking forward to kind of seeing how that resolves. I'm not going to obviously tell you the whole plot because I don't want to spoil it for you if you do want to watch it. Some of these beads are not beads at all. They're just pieces of like little plastic. So yeah, so if you're looking for a TV recommendation, I would recommend giving that a go. And then last night I was watching Underworld. So over the last couple of weeks, like, we've just kind of been watching Underworld here and there because they're all on Netflix. And we watched the 3rd one last night, The Rise of the Lycans. And oh my god, like, I've never really looked at Michael Sheen and thought, yeah, he's hot, but like, wow, yeah, he, like, as Lucian, as this like badass little werewolf, like he's a lichen, which means that they can change from human form to wolf form. I think it's just on the full moon. He's hot. He's really hot. Like, I really love Michael Sheen, to be honest. Like, he's in quite a lot of stuff that I love. Like, I'm a huge Twilight fan. So sorry, guys, if that's offensive. But I love Twilight. But yeah, it's just definitely, like, he's not really attractive to me in that. I just think he's a brilliant actor. And then, like, you've got Good Omens and stuff, and I think he's brilliant in that. But I've never really found him attractive. But, like, yeah, I don't know. It's probably just because he's like a werewolf. Although, to be fair, as a vampire, I don't find him that attractive at all. I say that attractive, just like there's no attraction. But yeah, as Lucian in Underworld, just like, yeah, like I thought he was pretty good looking in the first Underworld film, and then watching Rise of the Lycans, he definitely had put a lot of work into his body, and I was just like, yeah, wow. He looked awesome. Right, okay, so that is the end of the buckle making. What do you think? I actually quite like that. I feel like maybe it looks a little bit more frilly than I would have liked, but I mean, I've purposely chosen those beads for like a pastel goth type look. So if I find my fabric, whatever. So then I think what she said, oh, this is elastic. Okay. Was to, I mean, she used lace, really, and like gathered lace, so I don't know, I might add lace as well, I don't know. But then what she did was she sewed that through, and then as part of the buckle, so this would go around your journal, and then you would put it kind of, I think it's up through that one and then down through that one, and then you've got that to go as at the end kind of thing. Obviously if this wasn't tied up, this probably would be easier, so let me just grab a piece of fabric. So this probably isn't long enough, so you would just sew that through that side so that's all kind of hidden, and then that would go around your journal, and then you would push it up through the buckle and then underneath it, and then that's what you've kind of got left. So hopefully that makes sense anyway, but I really like this, so I think I'm gonna make 5 so that I've got one for each of the journals. I'm obviously not going to do that on camera because I've just realised that this is a 43-minute video of me just waffling on and making these little buckles. So I'm gonna end the video here for today. I'll make these other ones, and then I will be brave and I will make the covers on camera with you. Alright, well, thanks for watching. I nearly said tuning in again, and I will speak to you soon. Alright, bye.